Okay, so picking back up where I left off, that nurse was kind of not a very friendly person to be around, and simply to ask to use the restroom was kind of to inconvenience her. So that day, I decided to start a little mini insurrection, and I pointed out to the fellow inmates about how our patients' rights were not given to us, and they were not being followed and practically ignored, and we collectively approached the staff to ask why our rights weren't being provided, and one of them being that we're allowed to go outside for 30 minutes and get exercise and fresh air, and we weren't permitted that at all. They basically gave us a lip service answer and whatnot. Sorry if I'm rehashing, but my camera died. So, so I spent that day. So Saturday, I finished out the day as usual, playing dominoes and chit chatting and playing Risk. And I forgot to mention earlier. I had finished a 700-page Tom Clancy novel in 3 days. Anyways. Saturday came and went. I was taken back to the ER. I dilated in the ER with another patient in the room, like I did the first time. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Sunday morning came, and Dr. Swafford came in to do the morning evaluations, with the charts and all that. And I watched him go through the entire room, and he did pretty much everybody except me and 4 others. And time had passed, and was getting. This is after breakfast and getting towards lunchtime, and I'm like, why isn't he coming? Why isn't he calling me over? I was hoping I might get discharged today. And then at 11 o'clock, Dr. Swafford disappeared. And at 11 o'clock, they usually line us up. Right around 11 o'clock, they line us up for lunch. And in comes this doctor, in a hurry, looking disheveled, like he doesn't really care. And he had a piece of paper in his hand and he basically started calling the names of people who hadn't been called by Dr. Swafford. And I heard him say, "Hi, I'm Dr. Hawthorne, how are you today?" And the patient who was called would go talk to him. And I heard him say, "I'll be your doctor today." So I was third on the list, and I walked up to the counter, and I saw that I was third on the list, and he had 5 names written on it. And he said, "Hi, my name is Dr. Hawthorne. I'll be your doctor today." And I said, "Is it possible I can be discharged today because, Dr. Vasquez?" And he's like, yeah, I know the story. And unfortunately, I had to see you for 24 hours before I can make a determination as to whether or not you could be discharged. I'm sorry. And he did not take the time to sit down with my chart and make a proper evaluation and things of that nature. So at that point, I was really pissed. I really feel like it was an intentional Dr. Switcheroo to keep me in there. So, I went to lunch, and all the fellow inmates kind of felt sorry for me for how I was being treated and not having a room and the mess, and And then I came back after lunch. No, I actually left the lunch and asked, "Can I go back?" Because I was just in tears. And I told some of the other orderlies about what's going on with me, and they said, "Oh, it's not right that you're not getting a room, but we still think you need to be in here, and all you say is you want to leave, and that doesn't look good." They're just giving me lip service and feeling good about themselves. So, Sunday came and went, and Monday I was like, how much of this shit can I tolerate, So Monday I saw Dr. Vasquez again, and he actually sat down with my chart, and I said, I need to get out of here. This place is it's starting to hurt me worse and worse. I'm getting no sleep. You guys haven't got a room for me. And that's when Dr. Vasquez said, "Well, we'll see about getting you discharged today." I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Finally, some reason going on here. So in the afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon, I was finally discharged. After all this shit I went through and that doctor reneging on his discharge over a week earlier. I had 8 days of my life taken from Green Oaks, you know. And I know people can argue on the face about, oh, it's statistics that, and you're in this situation. Well, you know, I didn't get any help at all when I was in a place, and it really was actually a detriment to my mental health. So, anyhow, so I got discharged after 8 days of my life being taken from me. And my experience now, I understand why Sandra did not want to go to Green Oaks, because it's a nightmare. And since she was pre-op and she had what she had between her legs, it was probably pretty hard on her. And I truly understand why she didn't want to go back. I really feel like there's something wrong with that facility, and they mishandled Sandra's case, and they basically exploited me. And why I say that is because Sandra had no medical insurance, and I feel that she was just taken there and dumped out as soon as the liability aspect was, because she wasn't a profitable patient. I wound up several weeks later getting my bill, the itemized bill, and my 8 days came to about $40,000. You know, $40,000 worth of shitty food, bad room service, rude management. You know, that's an expensive hotel bill. You know, and I got stuck with a small percentage to pay it, and I'm flat like I don't know what I'm going to do about that. You know, I need to protest it somehow. I don't know. What it comes down to is I was a profitable patient. That's why they kept me in there for 8 days. I really feel, because of my situation, because the transgender issue, they can keep me in, and they can charge I have good insurance, and they made a pretty profit off of me. But with Sandra, she had no money. She had no money to pay. She had no medical insurance. They got her out as soon as they could. Also, having gone through the kangaroo court, and understanding the legal aspects of it, I went and had my records from the facility taken, and I looked through these records, and the doctors can write whatever the hell they want in this thing, and they can, if they want to abuse their power, they can lie about what you say and your behavior is. I mean, the abuse of power is there, and I'm sure it probably has happened in cases. And I really feel, just in my case alone, I reviewed the notes from Dr. Vasquez Swafford and Dr. Hawthorne, and I had Dr. Vasquez and Swafford said I was, depressed. That's clearly, obvious. But for those days I was, those 6 or 7 days I was depressed, but all of a sudden when that Dr. Hawthorne, who gave me a 15-second, hello, hi, I'm not discharging you evaluation, he didn't even sit down with my chart. I looked at his entry, and he said I was suffering from delusional paranoia. All of a sudden I became delusionally paranoid because I got frustrated by the lack of sleep, due diligence, being jerked around. So that tells you right there what this system's about. And if you can't see that, sorry, but this is what it's about. And it's bad enough for people who get put in these places. It's horrible, especially when you have everything stacked against you. I'm sure that some of the transgender people who are out there have been exploited by the mental health system like this, and it's not right. And I need something like this needs to be told. This story needs to be out so abuses like this don't happen, and people are just not shuffled in and out like cattle for profit. And people who really do need the help aren't just shuffled in and out because they're a liability. Especially in the transgender community, because we're so very vulnerable. So, I really thank you for listening to me and appreciate your time. And thank you very much.